Peri Peri originated from Mozambique. I'm going to be using the skin, so we're going to blend this with all of the garlic. We've got that sauce there, and then we've got this. We're obviously going to mix everything together. Your homemade Nando sauce. Okay guys, welcome back to my channel. So what we're gonna do today, I'm gonna split this video up in 2 to 3 videos. The reason I'm saying that is I'm making the base for making a simple Nando sauce. Yeah, if you're gonna look in front of me here, we've got 3 chilies, yeah? Hot but just medium heat. Now here we've got 3 tablespoons of, this is bird eyes chili powder. Now this chili powder originates from Thailand. Now with Nando sauce, the official chili that they actually use in it is called bird's eye chili as well. That actually originates from Africa. If I'm mistaken, Peri Peri originated from Mozambique, and they used a little bird's eye chili, and it got well known and all of that, and it started to push the borders, went across to South Africa and everything. And what it is the people in Mozambique, is something they had the recipe, the way they were seasoning and putting it on the chicken and the beef, because they don't just put it on chicken, they were putting it on all kind of meats. And you had a Portuguese guy that was obviously born and grew up there, and they showed him the recipe and how they did it, and he went on to make it the Nando sauce and recipe. So when you see Portugal, that's because he was a descendant from that guy, but actually Nando's Peri Peri comes from Africa. So, but instead of me using the red bird's eye chili from there, I'm going to use the one from Thailand. You can get the fresh one, which is imported as well, or if you go online you can get the dehydrated dry one, and you can get the ones from Africa and all of that. So yeah, just bear that in mind. But what we're going to have as well in it, or what I'm going to be putting in it, I want the sauce to be very flavorful and to have more of it, because you do put water in here, a bit of water in here, you put a bit of distilled vinegar or white vinegar or white wine vinegar, it's up to you. But I'm going to try and cut down on the water, and I'm going to be using bell pepper. So I'm going to use 1.5 I got there of the red and 1 of the yellow. That's been de-seeded, ready to go. These are sweet pointed pepper, they come from Palmyra. I'm going to use 2 of them. They've been de-seeded like that. I'm going to probably start with 1/2 tablespoon to 1 tablespoon, but I might put 1.5 because I want it to be medium to extra hot for me. So for you guys, start with 1 teaspoon to 1.5, then start with 1 chili, and then if you want it a bit hotter, add more. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the base of it, and then I'm going to make a garlic concentrated Nando sauce, 1 herb and lemon one. So we're going to make the base, and then what we're going to have a base there to start with, and then we're going to use that base and we're going to add to it. So now for this base, what I'm going to do, I'm going to puree these 3 onions, and then we've got 3 teaspoons of garlic. We've got some paprika here, we've got 2 teaspoons of salt, and here we've got 5 tablespoons of white wine vinegar. Here we've got about 1 to 2 cups of oil roughly. I've just poured it to the top. With the oil, when you've made your sauce, natural rule the way you're gonna want it, you're gonna want no more than 5% of oil. So with the peppers, 420 grams of bell pepper. These ones you can get from any kind of place. They're just sweet pepper, they're not hot. 222 grams. Gonna put these two in. What we've got here, 30 grams of chilies. So if you follow this point all together, the bell peppers, the chili and the other peppers, you should have 665 grams. We've got 665, got 150 mils of water. This should basically be 150 grams. Water and grams basically weighs the same. So that's about 820 basically. So plus the oil, 900, we're going to need about 150 grams of onions. Because I know for that amount we should definitely be able to put 1 teaspoon of salt. So we're going to throw that with the onion to puree it. With the chili, because I know I'm eating it and I'll be okay with it, we're going to put two nice heaped teaspoons of chili in the onion puree. Now with the paprika, because you want that paprika in it, so we're going to put 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to put 4 teaspoons of the paprika in there. With the rosemary, when you taste it, you just want a light flavour of rosemary, because we're not trying to make a herby one, we're just trying to make a base where you just got a light flavour. So then if you do like your herbs and you want to make a herby one, then you're obviously going to add a lot more rosemary. You're going to add some parsley, you're going to add coriander, and if you don't have those or fresh ones, you're going to be adding some dry ingredients for that. So we're going to put this in here because we're going to want it to also blend in. Alright, now guys, now we need about 40 mils of oil. Yeah, I'm going to put 36 grams and weight for oil in that. Now I'm going to blend this in a puree, and that's why I've put the oil in there, to just help it give it more of that oomph in this blending. Perfect, look at that. Alright guys, I was going to put it in a jug, but I've popped it in a bowl. I added a third of the water into the little processing pot and shook it a bit, because there was just a lot of the paste in there. I've tasted this. Probably got to add another 1 whole teaspoon of salt in here, because I do think it really needs it. Now what we need to do is we need to make a little paste or a little puree with the lemon. This is unwaxed lemon, so because we just want a little bit of that, I'm going to be using the skin. So we're going to blend this with all of the garlic and the vinegar, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put another sprig of that rosemary. I'm going to put that much more of the rosemary, because I think it just needs a little bit more of that as a little base. The reason I'm doing the lemon and that separately is because I just don't want the citrus and all that to start breaking everything down, and I wanted to be able to taste the chili in it. So the thing I can notice with that already is it needs a touch more chili. I know we've got chilies with the peppers there, but that won't be that hot compared to the bird's eye chili that we've got there. So in here we're going to throw lemon, make sure the seeds out. We're also going to squeeze about half of that juice of the lemon in there. So yes, I have kept the skin on the lemon. It's unwaxed lemon, so you're going to be okay. Make sure you're not using the wax one, where it's got all the spray on it. Now we're going to put a bit more rosemary in there, because I've tasted the when you're doing this sauce with onion, you've always got to taste it and everything, and you've got to taste it at a different point, because with things like onion, citrusy thing, it can be very overpowering and it can totally ruin the food. Or it's not even ruin the food, if you've got too much onions in it, you're gonna have to combat that with simple things like vinegar, salt and more pepper. So in here we're gonna put about 1.5 teaspoon of chili powder, because we do want it a bit more hotter. We're gonna add about 1/2 tablespoon of the paprika. So I think that's what's missing from there. We're gonna put the garlic. Now this is basically 3 teaspoons. We're gonna put all that in. That's a base you have with most food, guys. Then we're gonna put all of the 5 tablespoons of white wine vinegar. Gonna now blend that. Yeah. So in this one, because obviously that tastes okay for salt in it for that one. This one I'm gonna add about of a teaspoon of salt. Then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pour some of this water in here. You lot see how? Then, if you just shake it, you'll just see how a lot of it's gone down. So rather than losing all that goodness, you've only just got that bit there, which is really nothing. I might add a tiny bit more oil to it, but everything now tastes okay how it is. These two taste perfectly okay. We've got that sauce there, then we've got this. We're obviously going to mix everything together. They both taste okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to put all of these in here. Guys, and that's it. Yep, guys, that's it. Now if you want this a little bit, I like it with this consistency, because I won't be using mine really as a dip or a sauce to go on trips. I'm going to be using mine for literally mainly marinades. So with the marinade, I want it a bit thick so I can paste it on, and then I can boil this on the pan a little bit on the fire, reduce it a little bit so it's a bit thicker, and it cooks out a bit of the water. Or you can just brush it on your chicken, especially for a barbecue. If you're doing this on a barbecue, guys, and someone's coming, oh my god, make sure you leave it like this. So now what we're gonna do, that's the base done. We're gonna bottle this up. And then yeah, gotta get on to making a little lemon and herb one and a garlic one. Alright guys, that's the Nando sauce done. As you lot can see, this is a litre bottle that I've got. The remainder I've popped in. Obviously there was a bit round in a pot which I've just rinsed out. It's got in there now, and that will be good for literally a couple of weeks, because what we've done is we've used bottled water for this. If you use tap water, I'd only recommend keeping it for up to the week and all of that, because it's just the chemicals they got in tap water. I wouldn't even recommend using it, to be honest. So again guys, look, your homemade Nando sauce, a whole 1,000 mils, so a litre. Now tell me how long is this gonna last you? So now that that's done, subscribe to the channel guys, let me know what you lot think, let me know if you tried the recipe, and obviously gonna have next 2 videos up. What we're gonna do, this is basically medium to hot. Some people will say it's hot, some people will say it's medium. To me it's medium. My girl stated it, she said for her it's hot, because I've added more chili in it at the end, that you see. Now the next video I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be making a lemon and herb one, then I'm going to be making a garlic one, and what we're going to do is we're going to be using this as a base. So this is the base that we've already got, so we're going to probably pour in a measuring jug, probably make it with 100 mils, 200 mils of this, then just keep this in the fridge how it is. So yeah, don't forget, subscribe to the channel, share and leave a comment, tell me what you think.